cakewalk, joyride, bake car, straight talk, straight talk, straight talk.
My name is Claudette Esterine-Campbell, and I am the president of the Daughters of Sheba Foundation. Welcome to These Three Things. You don't know what it is about. Usually once per month, usually on the last Saturday of the month, we come to you live to discuss three things. Three things that stick in our craw, that either made us happy or made us angry or just somewhere in between. And so we here, the directors of the Daughters of Sheba Foundation come and each of us choose one such topic and we discuss.
Answer, I'm dancing, I'm all in my zone. James Brown. Dumb hard, cakewalk, joyride, bake car, straight talk, straight talk, straight talk, straight talk. Dumb hard, cakewalk, joyride, bake car, straight talk, straight talk, straight talk, straight talk. Check a flag waving, green light flashing, all of you see it's gold. Hey, whip my wrist, my whip got hits, I whipped up this my stove. Hey, shoot like this you get when you subscription HBO. Hey, misfit with the shits, too slick to slip up, slip they throw. On the lay, right at they next.
$12.8 million. Heard that? $12.8 million. One woman has collected, and she is not the biggest fish in the pond. $12.8 million. That's what's in my craw tonight. Thank you for joining us, everybody. You are watching These 3+ Things, and we're going to get right into it.
Dumb hard, cakewalk, joyride, bake car, straight talk, straight talk, straight talk.
My name is Claudette Esterine-Campbell, and I am the president of the Daughters of Shiva Foundation. Welcome to These 3 Things. You don't know what it is about. Usually once per month, usually on the last Saturday of the month, we come to you live to discuss 3 things. 3 things that stick in our craw, that either made us happy or made us angry or just somewhere in between. And so we here, the directors of the Daughters of Shiva Foundation come, and each of us choose one such topic and we discuss.
Answer, I'm dancing, I'm all in my zone. James Brown.
So these 3 things, the first of the 2024 edition. Hello, Clara, how are you? Colleen, I am not seeing you.
Hi, Claudette. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Colleen is just spinning. She told me that she sent me a message that she was hearing and stuff, but she was having internet problems. Let me message her. How are you? How are you, Clara?
I'm well. I'm good.
So we're supposed to be the 3 of us plus a guest on these 3 things as for this year. Our partner, I won't say crime because we're not criminals or involved in criminal activities, as we were listening a while ago, as we were hearing a while ago. I had to play that. I have something in my craw that I shared with you guys. Oh, can I make it one picture that Bakayo? Eh? You know, friends, Facebook ban with a pornography, ma. Anyway, I'm kidding. So we're supposed to be me, Claudette Esterine-Campbell. I am the president and chairperson of the Daughters of Shiva Foundation. And we are supposed to be joined by our treasurer, Gloria Rose-Saunders, who has traveled. She's in London, England. So her time is off. She told me, I'm going to set my clock and I'll be up and I'll be here. I said to her, Gloria, record in your craw and share with us just in case you don't wake up. Well, she's not here yet. And Clara Brown, our erudite secretary of the Daughters of Shiva Foundation, she's here. And our special guest tonight is Colleen. Colleen is having some difficulties. I think her internet is off, so she might have to join us by phone. Colleen, you might have to call in. I don't know. But Clara, luckily I had that other thing, and Clara, that I just played. That I just played. Colleen is back. Let's see if she comes on. Colleen, it's you're just spinning. Your internet isn't connecting. Anyway,
Colleen not hunted by now.
Anyway, we have more than things to talk about. Good night, Genesis. Thank you for joining us. But that thing that I just played at the top, that's a story of one Jamaican scammer. Yes, I'm calling her a scammer. And that is one of the topical news today. It broke several days ago. People are very, kudos to her, whether you like her or you don't like her. She has been on it and saying that she's fighting corruption and She got the goods on the one particular woman. The big fish is still there swimming. Hopefully that will break soon. But one woman in Portland, Jamaica, who claims that she has been feeding the homeless for the past 3 years, she's collected a total of, so far, still counting, 12.8 million Jamaican dollars, supposedly to be feeding the homeless in Portland, Jamaica. And we're not going to discuss that in detail tonight. But Clara, make your face look, so make me hear what you're thinking about that thing. It's Gloria not there. Let's talk about that then.
That's bigger than what the local government has for their budget.
It's bigger than the local government's budget. Well,
For that purpose.
this lady,
I'm afraid I wasn't on social media much for this week because of
okay, well, let me fill you in.
So I had no idea.
Oh, yeah, you actually go to a job. You don't actually come on social media and turn on your phone and say, "Catch up."
Remember, we are the 9 to 5 idiots.
Yeah, so while you and I were on the job, me in Canada, you in Jamaica, this lady, I'm not calling names, but this lady in Portland, she, since 2020, has been on internet telling people that she's feeding the homeless, and she feeds the homeless. There were times when, in the early days, when I would briefly watch her, because I watch everybody for at least once on social media. And so there was a time when she did it twice a week, but then it came down to once a week, Sundays, where she claimed she was cooking food for homeless people, and in Portland, Jamaica. And she would come on her phone and say, "Catch at me." And the idiots, because there's no other word to call them but idiots, would cash up her and on Western Union her and all of that, only to find out that this woman, she didn't work a day. Well, since she retired from the oldest profession in the world. You use your imagination, you all know what I'm talking about. Since she retired from that, she has not worked, and she's collected since 2020 to February of 2023, and they're still counting receipts, 12.8 million Jamaican dollars. She has bought 2 or 3 vehicles and have taxes running on the road, and only to find out that the parish council that you mentioned, Clara, has asked her to stop doing it. She did not have the right permits or anything to do it, and she didn't stop. And so somebody
She stopped but repurposed the funds, because I remember
she didn't stop collecting money.
Okay.
She didn't stop collecting money. And even today I'm hearing, no, I'm not seeing you. Is your camera on, Colleen? Maybe your camera is not on. We're not seeing you because your camera is not on, and all I'm seeing is circling as if you're not connecting. So if anything, just call me and I can put you on speaker. I don't have my Bluetooth here, but just call me on WhatsApp and I will put you on speaker. I don't know why we're not seeing you. I see that you're in the studio, but I am not seeing. And you have your microphone muted, Colleen. So unmute your microphone. That's the first thing. Maybe we can hear you if we can't even see you. If you unmute your microphone, I think something is wrong with your connection. Yeah. So yeah, that broke since Sunday or something. They've been talking about it, and they have been sharing the receipts. And Colleen, can you say something? Your microphone is now muted. You're not connecting. You're not connecting to the internet, Colleen. It's just spinning. Anyway, so that was one of the 3 things, because Gloria isn't here. We're having some issue with Colleen. So, Carol, you want to go into yours?
No, let's continue with yours.
Why? For me to be talking? this is really not mine. It just came up, when I was driving home this evening, because I have a way before the kids come into care. Lord have mercy, you see them social media things here, they can curse so many profanity. So when the kids are in the car, I can't listen to it. So between the time of me leaving my office to them, it's like about a 20 minutes drive from where I work to pick them up. So during that time, I will listen, to these lives that I missed for the day. And that was one of the ones that I missed today, where they were saying of this particular lady and her team, they got copies of 200 receipts from overseas donors who sent money to this woman. And so they spent the last few days tallying these receipts. And like in a week, Clara, this woman would collect the equivalent of 250,000 Jamaican dollars in a week. And no homeless was being fed for a long time now, or at least once a week. Somebody said,
Allowed.
sorry?
It's not allowed.
Well, let's explain to us what you mean by it's not allowed.
Well, under the, I don't know if they call it local government act or whatever, but it was a very topical issue during COVID, and it was reinforced that persons are not allowed to feed the homeless. You can give donations towards the formal homes
Mhm.
or centers, but you're not allowed to provide cooked meals to
Okay.
them outside. A lot of factors in terms of public health, in terms of whether they don't know the unscrupulous ones, the kind of food that they're giving these people, and even if they're in shelters or homes, you're not allowed to take food in. I mean, prepared food, and
Mhm.
that has to do with the Public Health Act and in conjunction with the local government. So I really don't um I don't know if these donors were not aware of that
They don't care. Some of them don't care.
or they are just naive.
Yeah. I have can you hear me, Colleen? Can you hear Colleen, Clara?
Not much, not very well.
No, no, I know you're
She's
here.
breaking up. She's breaking up though.
Talk, Colleen.
So she's breaking up.
Yeah, I don't have this connected to the Bluetooth here. So uh Colleen, talk up. Okay. She says she's hearing us loud and clear. So you have something you want to say on this first? It was just an accidental issue that came up, Colleen, about the woman in Portland who collected. Well, so far as they're counting, she's collected 12.8 million Jamaican dollars, claiming that she's feeding the homeless, and God alone knows how much of that has actually fed the homeless.
Oh Lord. These things have been happening so often. And people are just gullible.
You mean the
And it's
donor?
about, yeah, that's true. We need to be more careful where to send our money to.
Yep. And the problem too is that there are. Clara, did you hear what Colleen said?
No.
No. Oh, okay. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this part of having you on the phone and all of that. So I don't think that's going to work, Colleen. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Why your thing is just spinning.
I can see that it's spinning, but I can see you clearly. I can hear you clearly. But I just don't know why you're not picking me up.
Mm-hmm.
So
No.
I don't know. I'm thinking back with that weather later, really, and it can pick you up. So I, I don't know, I'm hearing everything, I'm seeing everything. You're not picking it up.
Yeah, we're not. We're not seeing you. We're not seeing you. We are not hearing you at all on this. I I I don't know. Can you connect via your phone?
I'm using my phone.
Oh, but I mean, can you use your phone's camera?
Oh,
Yeah, just use your click on the link that I send you on the phone. That's what you did. You're not using a computer.
phone I'm using.
Okay,
And I wait
okay.
because everything, and that's how I could see you, I could hear you, I even saw a plan,
Mm-hmm.
but not seeing me.
No, we're not seeing you. It's not connecting to you. So I have to go. So you can keep trying. Maybe it will work eventually.
I guess I just have to just listening in the background and so
Yeah. I'm. Yeah. It's not working. All right.
okay, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, Clara. So Colleen was saying that people are just gullible, or they probably don't know that they're not supposed to be doing that. I don't know, Clara. I don't know what to say. But like I said, I there was a petition, Clara.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was a petition put out today, and several people, myself included, sign it. And I know that this lady is not the major fish in the pond. There are bigger fish than her in the pond. But if an example can be set by her, well, I say go for it. All right, so let's go to your story, Clara. What you wanted to talk about tonight. Let me pull that up. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I have so many screens open. Oh, here we go. There we go. So, Clara, you want to lead us through your story?
Well, my story has to do with the upcoming ban on the use of plastic lunch boxes, and this is to take effect on June 1. And this follows the ban on um, the use of plastic bags, which was about 2, 3 years ago. So, from where I sit, well, there are persons who believe that the ban on plastic bags have not been successful, but I beg to differ. And
Okay.
there are those who feel that the plastic bags ban is not the biggest problem as it relates to plastic and how we manage our waste. But every journey starts with a first step. So if we can seriously, and if we can lift the interest of all citizens, raise their interest and their awareness by not making these dangerous items available for consumption or to be used or utilized, then go for it. I see in follow-up where some of the restaurant owners are asking for an extension. I guess they're asking for an extension because they have stockpiles of these lunch boxes and would perhaps need the opportunity to utilize all that they have. but you have to cut off at some point because it is unbelievable the amount of plastic that is just strewn all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I in 2021, I visited as well. My office is has a responsibility. It's part of the concession agreement with the government for us to be um, the social impact, how we manage the social impact from the operations is mandated that we have to meet international standards and make sure that we don't contribute in any significant way to the pollution of the waterways. And so we had this collaborative project with the university marine department.
Mm-hmm.
And in one day, we collected 80,000 pounds of plastic from one area in one day. We had a cleanup campaign in one day. We started at 9 and finished at 4:30. 80,000 pounds of plastic. Double that, triple that, quadruple that, and we can see the impact of that. And that's just one small area. If, for example, if I go down to one of the berths at any given time and there's a vessel there, you would be amazed to see the amount of plastic that is just swimming around like a container vessel.
Mm-hmm.
It is unbelievable. So,
So Colleen is on the side here, and she's saying that I totally agree with Clara. The ban is working. Nothing happens overnight. The
mhm,
government needs to let householders separate plastic and other recyclables from other garbage in separate bags before the garbage men pick up.
mhm, mhm. And that's where we are moving because even when we go further into the article, it is going to be the accepted norm that we separate our garbage. I do that, but there are 4 million, almost 4 million households in Jamaica, if not
Mhm.
more. And my small community might do that. But as I say, every journey is one step forward. And if all 500 households in this community separate their plastics from their regular garbage, then it's a start.
So do you guys do the government, or not the government, the government, the local government give you guys the recycle bins for the recycling, or do you have the, like here we have the blue bins and the green bins, and do they?
No, we don't have that, and that's where that's what they're moving towards.
Mhm.
And even our separation here, the plastic is collected by private contractors
Mhm.
who take those plastics to the recycling outlets,
Mhm.
and not the it doesn't go to the regular landfills for garbage. It goes to companies that is in the recycling business. So that arrangement, as it is now, is private, but we're using it. We're moving towards like a national strategy for waste management.
So here in Canada, last year they instituted the plastic bag ban, and if you look in our cupboard here, we have so many cloth bags now. And
Hmm.
this was challenged in the court, and
Hmm.
actually it's in the court now. It's
Still.
touted as going to be one of the biggest environmental cases, because the big companies, the companies who have a vested interest in plastic and plastic bags, they have challenged it in the court. And if the court overturns this regulation, I'm reading from an article. It says it could have a domino effect that could force the government to rescind the ban. So even
Mm.
here, it's being tested. We still, it's still in effect, but it's going through the court process, and we stand a chance. I'm not going to lie to you. It is very, very inconvenient. I'm not going to lie, because I keep forgetting to take out my one of my bags. So I keep some in the car,
Mm.
and then
That's what I do.
I was still going to the store and leave it in the car and end up having to buy another one. So we have so many of these cloth bags that I wonder, if we swap black dog for monkey, because we don't have all of these other types of bags, you know.
The thing is, what I do, we have the go green bags. They're fabric, but not like cotton, and they're very sturdy. So and they're easily you can. So I have a couple that I roll and put in my handbag,
Mhm.
just in case I forget to take it out of the car when I stop, like a quick stop. So I
Yeah,
have a couple that I like roll and put in my handbag. So I always have them.
yeah.
I
So we
always
have
have them.
another comment here from Colleen, who should have been our guest today, and she still is, because Colleen, we're still gonna do your story, and you can do it you can make your comments, and I'll bring it up. So Colleen is saying they need to find those people who burn garbage too, which includes plastics in their
Hmm.
backyard. It
Hmm.
pollutes the air and eventually the water. But
Hmm.
okay, please, nobody don't think that I'm bashing Jamaica, but we started out with a scamming story, and how, pervasive it is. Seriously, how do you really think it is going to finding people? People don't have money to buy food, finding them for burning their garbage, which is something them do from Wapikil fill up. Is that going to really have an effect? Finding people,
But
Carol?
they can start finding them for throwing garbage through their windows as they travel.
Mhm.
And I know that they have been doing that, but sometimes it's hard to catch the culprit sometimes.
Mhm.
And all right, let me not say.
No,
But
say. Why you always have to
no,
hold back? Say.
the thing about it is that I am ashamed sometimes how nasty we are. Simple thing as putting your garbage in proper bins or containers.
Mhm.
The garbage trucks that come around, they don't have the facility, or they are not required to clean up your garbage.
Mhm.
So when you don't bag your garbage properly, you just pile it up and leave it. Who you paying to pick it up?
Mhm.
It is when you walk and see the garbage and you see the mess, and daily you're just surrounded by garbage.
So we did this last year on our various conversations under whatever heading, and I will always say, doesn't it require a cultural intervention? Sorry, not cultural, a psychological intervention. Doesn't it require a complete mind? Because these people come to Canada and they don't do that.
And they go to America and they don't do that. They
I,
can't do
I'm
that.
only talking about here because this is where I live.
Yeah,
They
but
go
I
to
see
other
them. I see
countries,
them
they don't do
operate. I
that.
see them operate in the states as well. They don't do that.
They
When,
don't.
when you
So,
wind on your window and spit on the, you don't do that anywhere else.
so why? Why they do it? How is it you're going to get people to realize that they can't do that in Jamaica either?
And
Hmm?
then when disease break out, them cry to government to come and help us. And they are the authors of their own demise.
Yes, they are. They are.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
absolutely are.
Because even if they go away for 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, they don't do that. And they come back and they start at the airport. They start to litter at the airport.
Yeah, because you see, because okay, so when you see somebody doing that, would you dare to tell them to pick it up?
Me, I'll drive them down. I just know me stop. Yeah.
Because here, if you did it, everybody would be looking at you. The person who does it, everybody would be looking at them. That,
Me, I'll
in other words,
drive
they
them
get
down.
shamed here. They're shamed here for doing it. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that it's spick and span. I'm just saying.
Me drive them down. I remember one day I drove down a gentleman. He was still wearing his tie and he threw the orange juice box through the window. And me just drive down and I was right beside him and me just whine on my window, making him see me see him. Shame him, yes, making him see me see him.
All right, moving on. Colleen, if you want to talk to us in the comments, I'm going to bring up your thing. Um, this was Colleen's story. Oh no, that's not what we want. That's not what we want. This was Colleen's, or not was. This is Colleen's story. That she wanted to share. Let me play it.
My daughter is 14 years old and she used to attend the Queen's High School. But there were cases where she reported to me from first form of being bullied. I didn't take it that seriously because I told her that there were kids who were going to be like this, so she would have to just be strong and try to do the best she can. However, going into second form, the situation got worse. I saw her become withdrawn, depressed, and she was hiding within herself as if she had no confidence, she had no belief in herself anymore. I was very busy at work because I have a lot to do to maintain my family, so there were times when I couldn't focus enough on the situation. But seeing it getting worse, I started to ask her what was really going on because I noticed that she didn't want to go to school. There were mornings that I would wake her up and she would ask me if she had to go to school. She told me about a lot of occurrences, incidents where kids teased her about the way she looked, about the way she dressed, her clothing and stuff like that. She said there was a set of girls who claimed to be a popular set who manipulated the class to do whatever they wanted to do. So they had the other kids against her at times whenever it was needed. She said they didn't want her in group or group activities. She told me of instances where group activities were being done and they rebelled that they didn't want her in their group, and she had to sit by herself, and this was allowed by teachers. I went into the school authority because, as I said, I saw her become depressed and withdrawn. Her schoolwork was going down. She wasn't doing that well in school anymore either. This they also used against her. When I went into the authorities, after having a meeting with the authorities, the head of the school, I saw that I wasn't getting a good response. Basically, what they tried to tell me, to sum it up, is that my daughter had to be a bit more tough. They didn't see it as her being bullied. They thought she just had to be tough and ignore. I told them that I don't think it was possible for someone to be ignore being picked on daily. But they stood by what they had to said. It went even further where the authorities asked me if I wanted them to help me to get a transfer. So I noticed that they wouldn't do much about it, with them saying that I left the meeting disappointed, but I didn't send her to school for a while. And the fact that I got no call from any member of the school showed me that there was nothing that was going to do about it. Even at the day when I had the meeting, kids came on the corridor and they were mocking her, and I said this to the authorities, and they did nothing. However, I decided I would have to pull her from the school because she didn't want to go, because they started to threaten her what they would do to her. Kids told her they were going to rearrange her face. Kids told her they were going to beat her. All this stuff like that. So I decided to pull her from the school. Consults were made with the ministry, and they did nothing also. Emails were sent, and they didn't respond. So the long and short is I had to remove her. I went back to them for a letter, and what they gave me in the letter was nothing for the other school that I wanted to get her transferred to. They just gave me a letter with the school stamp. They didn't write about a report or anything that they asked in the letter for them to write on. It was just a blank letter with a stamp of the school. So the other school rejected it, so I didn't get her into that school either. I decided I would try private school. So right now, I don't have her in a specific school. I just have her doing classes. I have to be motivating her. I have to be telling her that no matter what the system does, no matter how much she sees the fault in the system as a child, she will have to stand strong. I've had my own experience of the system, and it has failed me so many times. And I've had to tell her that you're going to just have to keep strong and be focused. I can't explain to my child why the world is like this in so many cases, but I have to be motivating her to be strong and to press on. I have to be motivating her to prove to these children that she is not the worst as what they have her to think.
So, Colleen, this is her story, folks. You might be wondering why she's not here. She's having some technical difficulties and we're not able to see her. So Colleen wrote here, that really hurt me to know that my alma mater has turned into this. How can the teachers ignore the situation? How can the school authorities ignore the situation? I am so upset about this. Why did it take the mother going on social media for the ministry to get involved? Why? They should have called in the parents of the bullies, especially the main one, and also get the teachers involved. Train the teachers in these kinds of issues. This is totally unacceptable. And we all can agree with that. Clara, what are your thoughts on this? Clara, we can't hear you. You're mute.
Yeah, I wasn't saying anything yet.
Okay.
I was trying to put my thoughts together. But as I listened to this mother, and her repeating that she keeps telling her child that she needs to be strong because the world is a rough place.
Absolutely.
And there's going to come a time when your children have to fight their own battles. But until that day, I am going to be the fighter for my child. If the school gives me a letter that doesn't make any sense, I am going to go write the letter myself. I said, this is what we need in the letter to take to the new school. I'm not leaving until I get it. I'm not
Dr.
fighting.
Asher says this is very sad.
And I am not fighting anybody. I am not fighting anybody.
My question is, which is one that Colleen raised in her commentary, sorry that she's not here with us live, but she said that they should call in the parents of the bullies, especially the main one, and also get the teachers involved, train the teachers in these kinds of issues. Does anyone here know whether teachers are actually trained in how to handle bullying in schools? Do you, Clara? Do
Well,
you know?
you have teachers who are trained to in behavioral science, and so the guidance counselors and the guidance counselors and specialist teachers are trained. I have a niece. Well, she's not in education anymore, but
For that reason?
she migrated and she
Oh,
switched vocations. And young girl, and she was a trained guidance counselor, top of her class and all of that. And the first school she went to, after after a couple of terms in that school, she turns around and says, "Auntie, no book is written to prepare you how to deal with the issues that some of these students are facing. There's no text. No college can prepare you how to deal with these issues that children are going through." And therefore, the results from that, with these children being part of the system that your child, who you try so hard to raise properly, they are they are going to go to the traditional high schools because they are brilliant. They meet the academic requirements, so they are going to be there with your child. You can't do anything about that. But at the same time, beat the ground until we get answers, until we get a shift, until school administrators understand that we will not stand for this. Not
so
everybody
Colleen,
have the option to. Well, she's at a place now where her child is not in the mainstream
not
system.
in school, yeah. And Colleen is saying, who Colleen is an educator. No, we are not trained. We refer them to the guidance counselor, and that is wrong. The guidance counselor. How many kids in the school? Hundreds. Guidance counselor cannot deal with the situation right on their own. It's usually one guidance counselor per school, isn't it? Genesis says, I do believe that some teachers are afraid of the children, which is sad in itself. I remember seeing, I don't know if it was last year, videos of children ganging up on teachers. I don't remember
Mhm.
which Kingston school, and then I saw another video where I think it was a male teacher who was cuffing a female student, and we all had nothing to say. But the thing is, we don't know what the child had said to him, done to him prior to his reaction. Obviously, he could have been held more restrained, um, but then these children too are living in a society everywhere, in a society where they see this kind of behavior. And look on social media. People come on social media even and bullying you because you have an opinion which is different from theirs.
Like
You know,
bully is acceptable. Bully is not acceptable in any situation.
you have adults bullying adults,
Exactly.
and this poor mother. So Dr.
And
Asher
this is
said,
what the children are exposed to.
yes.
It's what
And
they are exposed to.
children live what they learn what they're living. Dr. Asher says this has been an ongoing issue, and a number of teachers and guidance counselors are trained. However, each school has different approaches and some just feel helpless. So who's going to help them? Who is going to help them? Clara?
I don't know.
you know Today,
The thing about it, it is not a fix to throw up our hands in the
yeah.
air and not taking away from this young lady's issue. But even in the workplace,
Yeah.
even in the workplace, the level of indiscipline, the lack of, they're just, even the way that they walk, as if they have no purpose. And these are like university graduates. And
Clara,
and and
was
and
it?
you would think that at this stage of their lives they would start to see why they're here, the purpose for which they're here, rather than having a job. And they come through the school system with the same attitude. So if they are not going to change, I'm looking to get out now. So my screams and shouts will have very little effect.
Let's hear what Dr. Asher added.
I don't know what is going to happen.
Most bullies are going through varying degrees of mental issues and are acting out and find weaker persons to prey on. This is true. Colleen is adding, the thing is, a bully cannot stand on their own. That's why they push others to join them. They feel big and bad with more followers. We see that every day.
That's why they have gangs in school.
Yeah, that's why. That's true. They carry the bullying mentality into adulthood, most of them, and that's true. Um, I remember and this is not just isolated to Jamaica. We have bullying issues all over the world, and I remember it might have been 5 or more years ago. It would have must have been more, maybe closer to 8 years ago. I actually left a job because there was racism, and attached to that was bully. There was a woman, she just bullied everybody, and I just got tired of it. And I had the option to leave, because after reporting it 100 times, but you say to yourself, where did this started for this woman? You have adults, like I say, here on social media bullying each other,
But
you say something that they don't like, and they come into your inbox and they try to bully you.
remember the case with Leah at the swimming pool. Was it the swimming pool or the
Yes,
pool?
it's
Exactly. And
fun.
it was like children who
Yep.
set out to bully this poor child.
Yeah, just for those of you who don't know, was it last year or the year before? My family and I, we went to Saskatchewan on vacation, and it's in a province over, and two kids in the pool. They didn't notice me, and they started
Mhm,
to go after my older granddaughter, making the monkey sounds at her,
mhm,
and
mhm, mhm.
um, unbeknownst to them that I am her grandmother, meaning me.
Bigger bully.
Me not afraid of nobody. I mean, I smile and all that, but me not afraid of nobody. Me not afraid of nobody. And I took them on, and I took on the parents, because the parents were there.
Which is why I made the point that we have to be, you couldn't have allowed Leah to fight that battle.
No, no,
And it is no point telling Leah, you need to be strong, stand up to
no.
them. No, I am going to be the one who step in,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
And
And
I understand that this mother got to a point where nobody's helping her, so she have to think about, okay, what's the next step, and part of her next step was, yes, finding another school, but also trying to tell her daughter, toughen up a bit, but that's not the solution.
that is
That's
not a solution because she's still not in school.
Yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah.
still not in school. And all it took was for them to issue a letter with a transcript or whatever it is and give it to her. What
but
are you
based on
giving her a blank slate to do what, to take where?
But based on what Colleen is saying, apparently having come to social media, the ministry or the government, somebody in the government stepped in to, I don't know, Colleen,
So
was
the
it
so
resolved?
so the moment that I get that letter, I'm going straight to CVM and TVJ.
Yeah, it goes. What did we talk about in the beginning with your story about shaming? You know,
Exactly.
this is what it comes down
So
to.
the next thing, you know, Cliff Hughes is gonna be calling the principal at Queens. Me now put it down on my pitney teacher. You excuse me? Lion come out. Especially
Colleen,
if my
anything else you
child has
want to
done
add to
nothing
this?
wrong. If my child has done nothing wrong, and I
Yeah.
don't, and that if he does something wrong, I'm going to discipline him. But then me go and work with you. Then me go and talk to you after.
So Colleen said, yes, the Minister of Education visited the school and spoke to the kids. That's all. So I wondered if, well, at least that's something, but
But the child still is not in school, and
yeah,
that's my problem.
yeah, that's a problem. That's a
That's a
problem.
problem.
But you see, until mental health, because it's nothing tied up in a one. You know, based on what Dr. Asher was saying, that mental health issues, some of these bullies have mental health issues. Until, as a society, we start to recognize the implications, the impact of mental health, until we start to fully understand that what the children seeing around them on a daily basis, they're going to copy it. They're copycats. They're going to take on that kind of behavior, and they're going to
And
take
live
it
it.
to,
Live it.
they're going to live it in their circle of influence. In this case, it's in the school. Um, uh, Jenny says that that's not enough. The fact that the Minister of Education visited the school and talked to the kids, and she added, change has to be effective from the top. Yeah, you know, the principal, the teachers, the Ministry of Education needs to implement. Me know Clara not gonna like what me about to say. But the 300% raise where the politicians on both sides give themselves, there's so many things that could change the texture and the tone of the Jamaican society. That some of that, even 20% of that 300,000, this is one. More teachers need to be trained. There needs to be anti-bullying training, anti-bullying sensitivity in the schools. It just needs to happen. It just needs to happen. And the money that's passing through the system, passing through various politicians, passing through various scammers' hand.
If
All
if if you gather a random sample of, you have 140 high schools, I think, or I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But if you gather a random sample of the school's handbook, bullying is zero tolerance. So it is in the handbook. Is it so yes, you can rely on each student to read the handbook, see what the rules and regulations are. But in terms of enforcing, I think one of our guests said that the teachers are afraid of the children or whatever.
Mhm.
But make an example out of somebody or a group of persons in terms
We
of
ha-
enforcing, because it is written that bullying is zero. We don't tolerate it. Whether
but
it's a
obviously
whether
they
it's an
tolerate.
all girls school or all boys school. Perhaps I was bullied at school, but
But obviously they tolerated it at Queens in this situation. That's, I would call that tolerating. In the absence of Gloria, let us quickly have a look at what she was scheduled to share with us tonight. Um, this is such a sad story. Oh my God, I don't know what's happening with my screen. My screen just died.
I'm seeing the story.
My screen just went black. I can't see anything.
Oh,
So, Clara, if you are seeing it, can you talk about it for me, please?
this is a story regarding the the attorney who was gunned down last week on her way to work.
Yes.
Mrs. or Miss Risden, Sandra Risden. Um,
Is it a attorney or is she a paralegal?
um,
It doesn't matter.
yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if she is, but I know that she has been at New Schofield for forever. Everybody knows that name. Even if you go to New Schofield before you went to law school, or you come back, you went to law school, come back and spend 8 or 10 years, and she's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So probably only the King's Counsel at New Schofield is more legally educated than her by
Okay.
virtue of their title, but she has a significant amount of experience, and she has been with this company apparently for quite a while. And one of my managers at the office worked closely with her, and there is a backstory.
What's the backstory?
The
I'm
back
sorry, my screen is blank. I am just looking at my phone. So forgive me for
the
not
backstory.
manipulating.
Well, the backstory is that she is in charge of, or she is the guardian of her 90-year-old uncle. So she handles his affairs. He's a pensioner, lived in the States, came back home. So he's a pensioner from the States. And she's his guardian and handles his affairs, legal and otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has a relative, or I don't know if his son or whatever, who feels that they are the ones who are supposed to be in charge of his resources. So there is that quarrel,
Mm-hmm.
and just a couple of days, she in discussing the matter, because I think it's in court or something. She said that she is going to wash her hands of this. The day before she was killed, they were in court. I don't know if it's to deal with the matter, where she wants to wash her hand or to formalize certain things because he's aging, he's 90,
Mm-hmm.
and kill her the morning.
So they have arrested the person.
Did I
They,
catch him?
you
The guy
know,
rode up on the bike, and um, what I heard from my colleague is that she was on the phone with her best friend talking, and all the best friend heard was Jesus me dead now, and then she heard the barrage of gunshots. So she turned and perhaps just sensed that this don't look good, this guy's quite close or whatever, and said, Jesus me dead now. So this the friend was actually on the phone when she heard the shots.
oh dear. So Colleen is saying this was definitely. Oh, bye, Janice. She said she's signing off now. Thank you for joining us. So Colleen is saying, I'm looking at my phone. I'm sorry, post my screen is black. This was
Oh,
definitely a contract killing. The speculations are that it could have been because of the family home. That's what Clara was saying. She
hmm.
was managing. Colleen says over 35 years she worked there. It is alleged
Hmm.
that, and Corella, hi Corella, thanks for joining us. Corella says it's alleged that one of the riders got shot from the policemen who
Look at
challenged
him.
him. Oh God. You know, again, another thing that I'm always talking about, femicide. You know, I'm always talking about femicide in Jamaica. And I, 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 again, I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what it's going to take for the Minister of National Security, the security forces, everybody to realize what is happening to women in the country. How is it, not how, we know how, but how is it a family issue turns into murder? You're going to kill, so it was his aunt, grandaunt, something. You're going to kill your auntie because you want the property. It
Her
just,
husband killing wife because he want the property.
what?
Her husband killing wife because he want the property.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh my God. Well, folks, that's it for us because I am working in the blind here. I'm not seeing the things that I normally see. I don't know what's happening with the app that we're using. I just want to say thanks to everybody for joining us. Jen, guess what? We're gonna do next month. We'll probably have 3+2 because we really need to have Colleen back on camera. And I think we lined up another guest to join us next week, next month for these 3 things plus. I want to thank everybody for being with us tonight. Thank you for watching. We everything that we talked about tonight has there is one basic undercurrent, at least in my mind. Clara, let's see if we and I are on the same page. What are your thoughts? What do you think is happening in all of the stories that we talk about? We talk about a woman scamming $12.8 million, saying that she's feeding the homeless in Portland, Jamaica. We talk about the plastic issues with garbage, people not disposing of their garbage, and all that comes with that. We talk about bullying, a child being bullied in school. Now we talk about contract killing, a woman being killed over property. In your mind, Cara, as we wrap up tonight, what do you see as the underlying issue here? I see one.
A lot has gone wrong and a lot needs fixing, but the fixing has to come from a change in the mindset of the citizens of this country.
Mm-hmm.
As to what will motivate or bring on that mindset, I'm still working that out in my mind. It can't be the responsibility of governments, but they also have to share in the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Holding people accountable will be key to the process for their wrongs, infractions, whether innocently done or not. But as one of our leaders said, ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, a lot needs fixing. A lot of things are. I still maintain that there's a lot of positive, but boy, when the negative hits you, it's below the belt every time.
Yeah,
Every time.
yeah. It
So,
feels that way.
yeah. When that puff of negativity hits you with something happening, 2 murdered, 3 murdered, or this person murdered, this person of prominence. Yeah, or even the man sitting by the side, it hits below the belt and it hurts.
Yeah. For me, I see a decay, a rot that has set in, not setting in, but that has set in, and it's now smelly. It's now smelling up the place. It's now smelling up the country. It stink. It stink, from the scamming to the murders to the violence to the children watching all of this happening to it just a decay, a decay. I love my homeland. I love my homeland, but there is a And I say it all the time. I worry for my friends who live there. I'm not saying enough for pack up and come catch with me. Come in and know where for put to know. But it's
I'm not come there.
if you not stay with me and I'll come.
You see what I'm hearing? Yeah. This is too much.
but it's that's what I'm getting from it, you know. Just did you said earlier you were hesitant to say about people just being nasty, just throwing out the garbage. um it's there is a rot, a decay, a moral decay on the nation. Thank you everyone for joining us. My screen has completely frozen. I don't even know if I'll be able to end this live stream. Do join us again next month, at the end of the month, at the end of February, when we will be back with these three things. Plus, it might be plus one, it might be plus two. Who knows? Clara, as always, thank you for being ever faithful. Not to mention you, Colleen, one way or the other, you're here. Thank you, Corella. I think you're the one who's joining us next month beside Colleen. So I look forward to that. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And do share this conversation, especially the first part, which was really a public service announcement to all of you people who live a foreign for stop send on a hard-earned money, want to live in a basement, a clean poo-poo, to people who are just intent on scamming you. Me never want to use the S word, Clara.
I didn't say anything.
I can't play my usual things to take us out. So good night, everybody.
Nice.
See you all.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I cannot get this thing to close.